Good morning, good morning. What's up, folks? Welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. I hope everybody's been having a good week. I do apologize in advance. I usually do these live, but actually going to be taking a break from live streams. Probably till about the end of the month. just had to deal with some recent harassing trolls. So I wanted to take a step back, let things die down, and take a break from live streaming. So that's why this is actually just a regular recording. But definitely continue to like, subscribe, give a follow, you know the deal, and comment as well. But anyway, let's get into the meat of today's video. Let's see. Gonna talk a little bit of Stardom. Going to go over the blocks again for the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax, which started today. I haven't started watching yet, so no spoilers, but I am going to go over the competitors and what blocks they're in. So I'll do that. I'll go through some of the announced matches for Stardom, Midsummer Champions in Nagoya, as well as Stardom and Showcase Volume 1. Also go over some juiciness from AEW Fyter Fest Week 1 for both Dynamite and Rampage. Talk some Io Shirai. And we'll talk just some general WWE stuff and why I've been pretty frustrated with WWE lately. But yeah. Pardon me. But, yeah. So, got a good bit to talk about. First off, let's go ahead and knock out New Japan Pro Wrestling first, and then we'll do Stardom. So, G1 Climax number 32 is underway. So, wanted to go over the folks in each block. So, Block A, we have Lance Archer, we have Jonah, we have Toru Yano, we have Kazuchika Okada, we have Filthy Tom Lawler, Jeff Cobb, and Bad Luck Fale. Whew, a lot of heavy hitters in this one. I mean, 4 heavy hitters when you look at Lance Archer, Jonah, Jeff Cobb, and Bad Luck Fale. Of course, you know, Kazuchika Okada, big name that's in this block. Filthy Tom Lawler making his G1 Climax debut. So, this looks like a pretty tough block. Pretty tough block. You got 4 heavy hitters in there. Toru Yano, you know how he can pull off wins with his shenanigans. Filthy Tom Lawler was the first strong openweight champion. And Okada, I mean, it's Okada. So, definitely, A block looks really, really hard hitting. It's got some heavy hitters in there. So, that's the A block. The B block, we got Taichi, Tamatonga, the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii, Switchblade Jay White, Sonata, the Great Okan, and Chase Owens. This is an interesting block. Chase Owens, Tamatonga, Great Okan, Taichi, Ishii, Sonata, Jay White. Yeah, I mean, Jay White, I mean, he's the IWGP heavyweight champ. Sonata also tough competitor. Taichi, as well as Tomohiro Ishii. Excuse me. So sorry, y'all. Tama Tonga. It'll be interesting to see how he can do in the B block. You know, some of these competitors, you know, now that he's doing more singles action. But, and Chase Owens, it'll be interesting to see how Chase Owens does this year. But, I don't know, looking at this is an interesting block. This is an interesting combination here. So, we'll have to see what happens. Block C. This is Block C. We got Kenta, Zack Sabre Jr., Hiroki Goto, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Tetsuya Naito, Aaron Hanare, and Evil. Ooh, this is a pretty stacked block as well. I mean, especially Goto, who I'm a big fan of. You got the Ace and Naito in this block. That's a big deal. Zack Sabre Jr., Evil, leader of the House of Torture, which sucks. But this is a pretty stacked block. This is a pretty stacked block. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who comes out of that block with a high score, because that's a stacked block. And then Block D, we got El Phantasmo, David Finlay, Yoshihashi, Will Ospreay, Shingo Takagi, Juice Robinson, and Yujiro Takahashi. Huh. Another weird block combination. I mean, Will Ospreay, it's a big name. Shingo, a big name. Oh, El Phantasmo, I'm sure he's gonna be up to his shenanigans. Yujiro Takahashi, I mean, being that he's with the House of Torture, I can expect there will be some interference in some of his matches. Like I'm banking on it. But yeah, I mean, those last two blocks, well, actually the last three blocks, are pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. But those are your blocks for this year's G1 Climax. G1 Climax number 32. But I can't wait to start watching the matches. I can't wait. This should be really exciting. Especially with the G1 this year being 4 blocks instead of 2 blocks. So this is exciting. This is really exciting. So I'm definitely looking forward to see who makes it to the Final 4. It's going to be interesting. As far as who makes it to the Final 4, for the A block, Toriano, don't see it happening. Tom Lawler, don't see it. Bad Luck Fale, nope. Jeff Cobb, maybe. Jonah, probably not. Lance Archer, possibly. But I think you'd have to say that Okada's the favorite out of the A block to make it to the Final 4. I mean, just on merit alone. And then for Block B, I mean, Jay White's a favorite. But don't sleep on Sonata. Don't sleep on Tomohiro Ishii. Don't sleep on the Great Okan. Don't sleep on Taichi. Tama Tonga, don't see it happening. Chase Owens, definitely don't see it happening. But the others, it's a possible. But I think definitely Jay White is the favorite to make it to the Final 4 out of Block B. And then Block C, I mean, really, Block C, it's kind of open. I mean, Kenta, Zack Sabre Jr., Hiroki Goto, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Naito, Aaron Hanare, don't see it. Evil, don't see it. So I think you got a 5 possible to come out of the C block to the final 4. And then Block D, Yujiro, don't see it. Juice Robinson, don't see it. Shingo's a possible. Will Ospreay's a possible. He's a favorite. Yoshihashi, no. Dave Finlay, no. El Phantasmo, no. So I'm thinking either Shingo or Will Ospreay make it to the final 4 out of Block D. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this. Should be good. Should be really good. And like I said, these blocks are really interesting with the combinations that they set up. So I'm excited. Definitely excited. Can't wait to start watching. Should be great. Okay, let's move on to Stardom. So recently, Natsupoi recently had her first match as the newest member of Cosmic Angels, and she did the intro dance, which she nailed, but it's just gonna take some getting used to her being in Cosmic Angels now. It's gonna take some getting used to, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how this run for her goes now that she's with the Cosmic Angels. So next weekend, it's a lot to look forward to with Stardom, because not only do you have Stardom Midsummer Champions in Nagoya on the 24th of July, but on the 23rd of July, you have Stardom and Showcase Volume 1. So you got a weekend of Stardom greatness. And actually, that weekend is also going to be stacked in other areas as well, because not only do you have more G1 Climax matches, but you also have ROH Death Before Dishonor, I believe, is next weekend. So not only that, you got NJPW Strong High Alert, which I'll be attending live. So next weekend's going to be stacked. Next weekend is going to be stacked with pro wrestling. But anyway, let's look at the announced matches so far for these 2 Stardom shows. Now, as said before, Stardom and Showcase is another brand of Stardom that's going to be focused on random, anything can happen type of matches. That's what this focuses on. So let's look at what they have announced so far. I won't make any predictions, not until next week. But here's what they have confirmed so far. So they got a 4-way Falls Count Anywhere match between Azumi, Momo Watanabe, Tam Nakano, and Koguma. So Falls Count Anywhere. So that's pretty neat. I don't think there's ever been a Falls Count Anywhere match in Stardom before. We have a Cosmic Rules match. And it's a tag team match between Unagi Sayaka and Saki taking on Mina Shirakawa and Natsupoi. So this is within the stable. Now, I already know a lot of folks on Twitter are complaining that this is even happening. Relax. We don't even know the rules yet. Number one, we don't even know the rules yet. And number two, people are getting so upset and forgetting that this is a new, different brand of Stardom that's going to be its own thing. You have Stardom and Showcase. You have New Blood, which focuses on, showcasing the rookies. And then you have, the traditional Stardom shows. What's the problem? You got 3 brands. Stardom is expanding, and you have 3 brands. What is the problem with that? Like, these type of matches are going to be exclusive to Stardom and Showcase. That's why it's its own brand. So I don't know why folks are getting all bent out of shape about it. Especially, we don't even know what this Cosmic Rules match, what the rules are supposed to be. We don't know yet. Let's not jump to conclusions of what we don't know yet. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But should be interesting. I mean, I'm sure the ladies are going to be in bikinis or whatnot, but it's like, I mean, are you surprised? I mean, these ladies do photo shoots and photo books and bikiniing and all that. You know, I don't hear anybody saying anything bad then. But want to say something now because they're wrestling? They're wrestling in those, I'm assuming they're going to be wrestling in bikinis. Oh, wow. Like, I just feel like there's no need to get bent out of shape about it. Like, just, let's wait and see what the details are. That's all I'm saying. We got a hardcore tag team match. We got Donna Del Mundo's Julia and Mai Sakurai taking on Prominence's Suzu Suzuki and Risa Sera. And let me tell you, I recently watched a death match between Risa Sera and Suzu Suzuki. Woo-wee! Them ladies tore each other up. I mean, barbed wire kendo sticks and bundles and bundles of fluorescent light bulbs and a big ball with a whole bunch of forks sticking out of it and boards with like tambourines sticking out of it. I was like, dang. Like, jeez. Whew. Those ladies are like two honey badgers. They just don't care. But this will be interesting. Hardcore tag team match. A hardcore match in Stardom. Hey, I can dig it. I can dig it. Alright, we have an I Quit match. Tag team I Quit match. We got God's Eyes Shuri and Mirai taking on Prominence's Akane Fujita and Hiragi Kurumi. I Quit match. That should be really good. I wonder if they're going to treat it as such to where they have to make them say I quit into a microphone, or if it's just they're going to treat it like just a regular submission match. But we'll see. We'll see. We have a three-way tag team match. So a triple threat tag team match. Donna Del Mundo's Maika and Himeka versus Queen's Quest, Utami Hayashishita and Lady C versus Ami Sourei and Saya Ida. And if I remember correctly, I believe they're calling this a Power and Tower match. Yeah, Power and Tower match. Pretty much because, I mean, these tag teams are pretty much made of tall and power style wrestlers. I mean, Maika and Himeka. I mean, you have Himeka, who's the tall one, with Utami and Lady C. I mean, Lady C's the tallest, and Ami Sourei and Saya Ida. Ami Sorei's tallest, but they're either all power wrestlers that are tall or just power wrestlers in general. So it makes sense. Who's the best power duo out of this tag team triple threat? Should be interesting. Should be really interesting. Alright. And then we got a three-way coffin match between Saya Kamitani, Starlight Kid, and X, who is this Grim Reaper character that's been going around and choking Starlight Kid and Saya and Rasi Ogawa. So, I'm sure it's going to be revealed probably the day of who X is. But it's going to be a casket match, which I'm assuming, in order to win, first person to put an opponent into the casket is the winner. So, but see, with it being a three-way, it makes me wonder if there's, just going to be whoever can do it first, or are they going to be creative and have two caskets and have, a last woman standing style type of match where two women have to go into the caskets. But I'm sure it's going to be whoever can do it first with just one casket. But I just figured I'd throw that in there. And then we also have a Nagoya Rumble match, which I'm assuming is going to be like a Royal Rumble. But competitors announced are Hazuki, Hanan, Momokogo, Mayu Iwatani, Hina, Miyu Amasaki, Baka Tsukiyama, Rina, Ruaka, Saki Kashima, and there's going to be 3 more spots. 3 more spots. So we'll see who are the 3 final spots. But yeah, I'm definitely down. I do wonder if this Stardom and Showcase, I wonder if this is going to be a pay-per-view or if this is going to be on YouTube. Like, I wonder how they're going to broadcast this. Because, I mean, they got Stardom Midsummer Champions in Nagoya the day after. So, I mean, are they just going to do 2 pay-per-views? Are they going to do a package deal? Like, that's what I wonder. Because the New Blood shows have all been on YouTube. But with this being the first Stardom and Showcase show, I don't know if they're going to do a pay-per-view or if they're going to just do this on YouTube or what. I don't know. Maybe a Stardom World live stream. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that's what they have so far for Stardom and Showcase Volume 1. I'll do a predictions next week for this. Alright, and then let's look at the announced matches for Midsummer Champions in Nagoya. So we recently had Midsummer Champions in Tokyo, which was really good. Definitely enjoyed that pay-per-view. So we're getting another Midsummer Champions show, this time in Nagoya. This is at the Nagoya Congress Center in Nagoya, Japan. So far 8 matches announced, which I'm pretty sure this will probably be all. But we got a 4-way match, a fatal 4-way. Hanan versus Waka Tsukiyama versus Hina versus Akane Fujita. Ooh, somebody from Prominence is in there. Okay. Interesting. Okay. We got a singles match. Saya Ida versus Suzu Suzuki. Ooh. That ought to be good. I'm kind of curious to see how Saya Ida can do against Suzu Suzuki. That's going to be a tough matchup for her. Okay, we got a 3-way tag team match. Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi, Mina Shirakawa, and Unagi Sayaka taking on Queen's Quest, Utami Hayashishita, Lady C, and Miyu Amasaki versus Prominence's Risa Sera, Hiragi Kurumi, and Mochi Natsumi. Ooh. Whoa. We're getting to see a lot of Prominence in this pay-per-view. This is good. We're getting to see all the members of Prominence wrestle on this pay-per-view. Hey. Thumbs up, Stardom. I love it. Okay, we got the Goddess of Stardom tag titles on the line as Fukuoka Double Crazy, the champions, Hazuki and Koguma, take on God's Eyes, Amisore, and Mirai. Of course, their last meeting ended in a draw, so hopefully this will settle it. Alright, we have the Artist of Stardom Trios Championships on the line in a 6-woman tag team match. We have the champions, Oedo Tai, Starlight Kid, Momo Watanabe, and Saki Kashima, defending the titles against Donna Del Mundo's Julia, Maika, and Himeka. So they're going to get a shot for the trios titles. Okay, we got the High Speed Championship on the line as Azumi will make another defense this time against Oedo Tai's Rina. So we'll have to see. Rina's come a long way as well, so we'll have to see how she does against Azumi. We got the Wonder of Stardom Championship on the line. So Saya Kamitani, after her awesome defense and victory over Starlight Kid, she turns around and will face Saki of Colors of Cosmic Angels for the Wonder of Stardom Championship. So we'll have to see if Saya Kamitani can continue her streak of defenses. And then we have the World of Stardom Championship match, which will be Shuri, the champion, defending against Tam Nakano. I think a match a lot of fans are looking forward to. So we'll have to see how that goes. Can Tam Nakano finally win the red belt? We all know she's been a Wonder of Stardom champion. She dethroned Julia for that title. Can she dethrone Shuri? I think it's very possible, but we will see. But yeah, that's what we got coming up for Stardom in a week. Very exciting. Very exciting. So, a lot of Stardom juiciness to look forward to. Stardom and Showcase Volume 1, Midsummer Champions in Nagoya, and then a week later is the start of the 5-Star Grand Prix. That's, remember, that's July 31st. So that's 5th Sunday. That's when the 5-Star Grand Prix will begin. And I guess they're doing, I don't know if they're going to do a pre-show or like a specific pre-show before the official kickoff, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so that is Stardom. Looking so forward to what they got going on. Let's talk about AEW. Now, this week was Fyter Fest. This was a pretty good week for AEW. Fyter Fest was really good. Kicked off with the TNT Championship on the line between Wardlow and Orange Cassidy, which was a great match. Definitely a great match, and already Wardlow is off to a great start as TNT champion, but he did not win this match easily, that's for sure. But Best Friends got ejected during this match. But yeah, Orange Cassidy, he put up a great fight. He definitely put up a great fight. And I knew he wasn't going to beat Wardlow, but still. Orange Cassidy has been putting up great matches. And, you know, even thinking back to the IWGP United States Championship match at Forbidden Door he had with Will Ospreay. That was, whew. Folks, better stop sleeping on Orange Cassidy. You can hate the gimmick all you want, but that dude's a great wrestler. He is a great wrestler. But yeah, definitely love this match. Wardlow did get the victory, and you know, showed sportsmanship, helped him up, showed some sportsmanship. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, another great title defense for Wardlow. And then we had a promo from Chris Jericho. You know, when it comes to the upcoming Barbed Wire Everywhere match between him and Eddie Kingston. And, you know, those two just been going back and forth. And supposedly this is the match that's to settle this rivalry. That's what the word is. But we'll see what happens. But it should be brutal. Should be really, really brutal. We had an AEW World Championship Eliminator match. Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. And this was another excellent match. And of course, Takeshita got busted open, but he kept fighting back. And it was so close. I would have loved to have seen him pull it off, but Mox is just too strong. Just too strong, but you got to give it up for Takeshita. Dude shows a lot of heart, a lot of resilience. I mean, just like I even saw a lot of that even in his recent handful of matches. And the thing is, ever since he's been on this excursion in the States, he's been wrestling all over the place. I mean, AEW, DPW. I think he was also at Rev Pro. Like he's been wrestling like all over the place. Like I think he had a stop in UK. I could be wrong on the Rev Pro. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Shota Umino. What am I talking about? Believe he also did Prestige Wrestling as well. But he's been doing some different shows in the States. So he's making great use of his excursion and his time here. So definitely gotta love it. But took a second Death Rider and another Bulldog choke before Takeshita finally tapped out. But I mean, he went to war with Jon Moxley. Was not easy, but he went to war, and I can appreciate that. And I'm sure everybody else that saw it can appreciate Takeshita's effort. Luchasaurus pretty much demolished the Varsity Blondes. Like, it was pretty bad. And I guess now Christian Cage has now developed this habit of attacking wrestlers' deceased family members, as he did this week with Brian Pillman Jr. It's like, dang. But hey, that's MJF 2.0 for you. But yeah, got Luchasaurus to do his dirty work and pretty much demolish the Varsity Blondes. We had Claudio Castagnoli taking on Jake Hager, former tag team in WWE. We the people. But this was a good match. This was definitely a good match. These two were showcased very well. That's one thing I will say about Fyter Fest Dynamite. The matches were on point. The matches were definitely on point. And Claudio and Jake Hager, they went back and forth. But a Ricola Bomb put away Jake Hager in impressionable fashion. But yeah, Claudio Castagnoli has been on a roll since his AEW debut. He has been on a roll. We saw the return of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, backstage. Her and Jamie Hayter confronting Thunderstorm. So it's looking like we're going to eventually get a tag team match between Thunderstorm and Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. That should be really good. And even Thunderstorm now, Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm, they got some new gear now. So hey, I can dig that. I can definitely dig that. We had the Dark Order's Anna Jay taking on Serena Deeb, and you know what? Anna Jay put up a good fight. She put up a good fight. I definitely knew she was going to lose to Serena Deeb, but she put up a good fight. Got her in the Queenslayer, I think, once or twice. Had, I think 2 Queenslayer attempts, but the last one she ended up reversing and pretty much putting Anna Jay instantly into the Serenity Lock, and then that was it. Quick tap out. Beat her up some more before Mercedes Martinez made the save. But Serena Deeb does have a date with Destiny at Death Before Dishonor as she gets a shot at the ROH Women's World Championship against Mercedes Martinez. It should be good. I think I'm gonna definitely order that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna order that. Do a prediction video for that. We finally had a segment with Ty Conti and Anna Jay. Ever since Ty Conti turned heel, we finally get these two ladies in the same room for a segment. She didn't cruelly bash Anna Jay, but pretty much told her need to make better choices for her career and to think about it. We have to remember, Ty J, they were a tag team. Who knows what this will turn into? I mean, maybe Anna Jay leaves the Dark Order and is there reunited with Ty Conti, and they're both just heels. And you have to remember, there's a point a long time ago where Anna Jay was trying to recruit Ty Conti into the Dark Order. It never happened, but they stayed friends. They stayed a team. They stayed close the entire time. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll continue that now. It's just that Ty J will be heels together. Or Anna Jay may just stay loyal, and then we'll finally get a rivalry between Ty Conti and Anna Jay. I mean, it really could go either way. It really could go either way. So, that's the only thing with that. But, should be interesting. I can dig it. The main event was for the AEW Tag Team titles. It was a triple threat. We had the Young Bucks defending against Powerhouse Hobbs and Absolute Ricky Starks, and Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, Swerve in Our Glory. And what a main event this was. I mean, just all three of these teams looked impressive. And there were so many near falls. Like, I kept thinking it was over. Oh, okay, now it's over. Oh, okay, now it's over. And folks just kept kicking out, interrupting the pins. It was just like, this was definitely a fight forever main event. And it was just crazy. Like, the team of Swerve in Our Glory is just such an impressive tag team. And sure enough, Keith Lee, Swerve were able to capitalize. We saw a Swerve stomp onto Absolute Ricky Starks, and Swerve in Our Glory gets the 1, 2, 3, and they are your new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Do have to give a shout out to Powerhouse Hobbs as he went on a spinebuster frenzy. I mean, just spinebusters for everybody. Spinebuster City. Bump Suplex City. He took everybody to Spinebuster City. Also, Swerve doing that moonsault off of Keith Lee's chest never gets old. But I mean, just wow. And Keith Lee used a shoe. Who uses a shoe? And he used a shoe. This was a very entertaining and impressive main event. But there were some cons to it. First off, the official word is that technically Starks was not the legal man that was pinned. I know there have been YouTube videos and stuff that's been pointing that out, that the legal man was not pinned. But I don't know if they'll use this in storyline or whatnot, or if it was just a botch, but that's what the word is. And secondly, the word is that unfortunately Matt Jackson suffered a stinger in this match. I believe it was a neck or his back. And I know it's unfortunate because it was also said that Matt Jackson has, he's kind of had a history of neck and back issues. So, I mean, I don't know, y'all. I mean, I don't know if he just needs to take some time off. But these guys are high flyers. So, I mean, high risk, high reward. But, I mean, it just sucks that that happened. But, I mean, when you're a high flyer, you're subjected to those things happening. But hopefully he'll recover soon. Nick Jackson might have to run it solo for a bit, but hopefully recovers ASAP. Hopefully recovers. We had a pretty good Rampage as well. Had a good Rampage. Had a tag team match. The Dark Orders, Alex Reynolds and John Silver taking on the Kings of the Black Throne of Brody King and Malachi Black. It was a very good match. Good match to open up Rampage. But they were able to put them, Reynolds and Silver, away after a Dante's Inferno. But definitely was a very enjoyable match. Afterwards, Darby Allin surprised and ambushed Brody King. And definitely had Sting for backup. Had a stare down with Malachi Black. So I'm pretty sure this is going to lead to a match. Tag team match. Kings of the Black Throne. Darby Allin and Sting. Let's do it. I'm down. I'm totally down. Miro had a backstage promo. Looks like he's potentially going to go after the House of Black. I mean, you know, he had the mist sprayed in his face from Malachi Black, so I'm sure he's going to want revenge. So that's setting something up. Lee Moriarty got his shot at the ROH World Championship, currently held by the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham. It was a good match. It was definitely a good match. Lee Moriarty gave it his best, but wasn't enough, as Jonathan Gresham was able to put him in the crazy, painful octopus hold for Lee Moriarty to tap out. Got on the mic with Tony Schiavone and Tully Blanchard, did a little post-match promo. Then Claudio Castagnoli came out to confront, from a distance, Jonathan Gresham. And sure enough, this leads to a booked match for Death Before Dishonor. Claudio Castagnoli is going to get his shot at the ROH World Championship. A title he's never won. So, we'll have to see how that goes. That should be a really, really good match. Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, did a little backstage promo against Jay Lethal. So, you know, at some point, either before or after Death Before Dishonor, probably see Christopher Daniels and Jay Lethal go at it. Or at least that's what I'm hoping. We had Chris Statlander and Athena squash the Renegade Twins. Like, that match did not last long. But what really sucked, though, was post-match, once they had Kiera Hogan and Jade Cargill come down, and they pretty much, in a matter of moves, just eliminated Chris Statlander and Athena. I still don't like the fact that they're going up against them as a team. Like, Chris Statlander and Athena really should be doing their own thing, but they're going up against Jade Cargill and the Baddies. So, I mean, it's a number of people. So, I mean, eh. The segment with the Gun Club and the Acclaim was kind of eh. I mean, it led to a brawl. Not surprised, but it, you know, all it did was lead to a little mini brawl. Wasn't really that special of a segment, personally. Wasn't that special of a segment. We had a killer main event for Rampage and another tag team match. Private Party taking on the Lucha Brothers. Definitely very action packed. We saw Andrade try to get involved. We saw Roosh try to get involved, but kind of backfired. Totally backfired. And Rey Fenix was able to hit the Blackfire driver for the 1-2-3. Lucha Brothers stand tall with the victory. But this was a great match. Both teams were showcased really well with their double teams and high-flying skills. And I like both. I like Private Party and Lucha Bros. So this was definitely a phenomenal match. So like I said, Fyter Fest Week 1 was really good. Was really good across the board. I really have no complaints, personally. I have no complaints. So, next week, Fyter Fest Week 2. So that should be really good. A lot to look forward to there. But yeah, AEW had a good week. Had a really good week. I liked how they showcased the All-Atlantic Championship match that took place at Rev Pro, where Pac defended against Shota Umino. So they showed that match, which was really good. Shota Umino, great effort. Wasn't able to get the victory. Ended up eventually tapping out to the Brutalizer. But it was an excellent match. And they also showcased on Dark the special singles match in Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling that Thunder Rosa had when she took on the Pink Striker Miyu Yamashita. And great match. Didn't like the finish, as I said in the previous review. But because Yamashita won that match, she is due a title shot for the AEW World Women's Championship when she comes to the States. So definitely looking forward to that. But I'm glad that they showcased both of those matches on AEW Dark. Not to mention, heard word that ended up leading to more subscriptions onto Wrestle Universe. So hey, it's a win-win. Okay, let's talk about some WWE. First off, I want to talk Io Shirai. So, she made a post on Twitter that said rumors and a throw-up emoji. So, I'm under the impression that I guess she's not going to resign, or she's going to stay with the WWE. But now I'm hearing word that she'll sign a new contract if that means her going to the main roster. And if it doesn't mean that, then she leaves. That's what I'm now hearing. My thing with Io Shirai, of course, number one, she's pretty much done everything there is to do on NXT. So there's really no reason for her to be re-signed and stay on NXT. There's really no reason. I mean, I know a lot of folks are thinking maybe she gets a second NXT Women's Championship title run, but she really doesn't need it. She really doesn't need it. She doesn't need it. She's pretty much done everything there is to do in NXT. I mean, NXT Women's World Champion, or NXT Women's Champion, NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, Women's Dusty Cup winner. She won it with Kaylee Ray. She's won NXT awards. She's won the Future Star Award. She's won the Female Competitor of the Year Award and the Overall Competitor of the Year. She's won those awards. She's also fought in 3 War Games matches? So I mean, yeah, like, she's pretty much done everything there is to do in NXT. And, she was the Mae Young Classic finalist. Of course, she lost to Toni Storm in the finals. But she's really done everything big there is to do in NXT. So they do need to go ahead and move her up. I do agree that they do need to move her up to the main roster. Here's what makes me nervous. Now, does she move to the main roster and does she get booked similar to Asuka? Because I know a lot of folks can say what they want about Asuka, but out of a lot of the recent Japanese stars, Asuka has been booked the best on the main roster. Compared to Akira Tozawa, compared to Kenta, which, I mean, Kenta had the injury woes, compared to Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka has been booked the best out of those recent Japanese stars. So, if Io gets a similar booking to Asuka, then it'll be great for her. It'll be great for her. Because when you look at Asuka, Asuka has pretty much done everything to warrant early entry into the WWE Hall of Fame. Only thing that she needs is a WrestleMania victory. Once she has a WrestleMania victory, I mean, Asuka, she has a ton of accolades as well. So, if Io gets the right type of booking, then I could see her having a great main roster run. Another thing I would say to go ahead and really spice things up, don't put her on the same brand as Asuka. Don't put her on the same brand as Asuka. I think put her on SmackDown. Put her on SmackDown first. If I had to choose, put Io on SmackDown first. And third, if they book Io any way similar to how they booked Kairi, she's in trouble. She's in trouble. Because Kairi is another one. Booked well on NXT, was not booked good on the main roster. And the only thing that really kept her relevant was the fact that she was in a tag team with Asuka and they were tag team champions as the Kabuki Warriors, which they still hold the record for longest reigning WWE Women's Tag Team Champs. That's really the only great amount of success Kairi Sane had in the WWE main roster. She never really had a chance to have a singles run. And, although Io and Asuka have history, Io and Asuka are 2/3 of the Triple Tails stable with Io Shirai. But I really feel like they need to be on separate brands to start out with. Let Io build her notoriety even more on the main roster as a singles wrestler, which word is she's very well loved and respected backstage and in the locker room. So hopefully Io Shirai gets the right type of booking on the main roster. Something similar to Asuka, but not anywhere similar to the booking Kairi Sane got. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens if she does get re-signed with the WWE, or if she decides not to and leave to go back to Japan. But I can tell you right now, if she does decide to leave and go back to Japan, there's no doubt in my mind she'll be going back to Stardom. No doubt in my mind. But we'll see what happens. Word is she is scheduled to return from injury very, very soon. I think her and Zoe Stark. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. Raw wasn't really anything special. Brock Lesnar annihilating Alpha Academy. I'm not really liking this Finn Balor Judgment Day. Like, it just... I know they're trying to now recruit Dominic Mysterio, but just, I don't know. With Edge, they were so much better with Edge. And I love Finn Balor. I'm a Finn Balor fan. I'm a Prince Devitt fan. But just this, him being the new lead of Judgment Day, just... I really don't think it's working. I don't think it's working, but it is what it is. Becky Lynch wants a title shot at SummerSlam, and I think this is going to end up leading, because Carmella recently got a count-out victory over Bianca Belair, so I'm pretty sure this is going to lead to a triple threat at SummerSlam. Carmella, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title. Well, I guess it's not technically a rematch, but it's a matchup I'm not really intrigued with. And now it's like they seem to be advertising the idea of a tag team, a new tag team of Alexa Bliss and Asuka, after they just recently defeated Nikki Ash and Doudrop. I really hope that's not the case. Like, these ladies need to stay singles wrestlers. And the way I see it, what's the point? I mean, the tag titles are vacant. They don't have enough tag teams anyway, especially legit tag teams. So, I mean, let's just have some singles women's wrestling as much as we can. But yeah, Raw just wasn't really that exciting. I mean, Omos teamed up with the Usos and they beat the Street Profits and not Bobby Lashley, R-Truth. I mean, it was good to see R-Truth wrestle again, but jeez. But nah, Bobby Lashley and Riddle teamed up and beat Theory and Seth freaking Rollins. But yeah, Raw just was But at least it does have more wrestling typically than SmackDown, especially as of lately. NXT 2.0. Okay. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail with NXT 2.0, but I will say this. I know a lot of folks got on Indy Hartwell and on Gail Kim. Gail Kim was kind of defending her about the springboard elbow drop botch. She slipped off the rope. Fans, look. Y'all have to realize and remember why things like that are called high risk. High risk moves are more susceptible to botches. It happens. Y'all need to keep that in mind, that high risk, high flying springboard moves are hard to do and are more risky. I don't know why folks get surprised and get so critical on somebody when they botch one of those. If anything, I would be more concerned if they're all right or not than the botch. I mean, yes, is it bad? Yes. But folks need to stop being so critical on these wrestlers, knowing that they maybe have a high-flying finisher or signature, or they're a high flyer. They have to realize it's high risk, high reward. High risk. There's a reason why they tell you don't try these things at home. Because things like that can happen. It's like, geez, like, so many of the internet wrestling community just want to get so hard on a wrestler and be so critical on a wrestler that did a botch, especially doing a high-flying move. It's like, first of all, y'all are the fans. Y'all aren't doing anything like they're doing. And the fact of the matter is, because they're more susceptible to botches and somebody getting hurt, you should be more concerned if they are all right or not. So it just really annoys me when fans are like that. It's like, yes, botches happen, especially with high risk, high flying springboard moves. Goodness gracious, it annoys me when I see that on Twitter or Instagram, just all over the place. It's like, number one, you don't even do what they do, so you really can't relate. It's like, geez. There's a reason why they are the high flyers and we are not. A lot of us wouldn't even want to take a bump. Let's just keep it real. Anyway, the one thing that set me off with NXT 2.0, and I'm really disappointed with NXT 2.0, just to keep it real with y'all. I really don't understand the logic with the booking of this main event. So, the NXT Women's Championship match was the main event. Roxanne Perez got attacked in the beginning of the show in the parking lot. Nobody knows who it was and blah, blah, blah. So, weren't sure if she would be fit to go. Cora Jade was getting ready to replace her, but Roxy came down, ribs taped up, and was like, I can do this, I can go, I can do this. So Cora's like, alright, go do it. They had their match, and then Cora Jade turned on Roxy, cost her the match. Mandy Rose, still your NXT Women's Champ. And after the match, Cora Jade talked some smack to Roxy. Hit her with the broken skateboard, like literally, because the skateboard broke before it even hit her. And she just did a little minor beatdown on Roxy after the match. Now, I would be okay with this. I would totally be on board with this heel turn if they weren't the freaking current NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. The titles that they won a week ago. How does any of that make sense? How the heck do you put these tag titles on Cora Jade and Roxy a week ago and then turn around the following week, not having defended the tag titles, not once, just won the tag titles. Roxy cashes in her contract for her women's title match, and that's when you do the turn. How much sense does that make? Like, why couldn't they have just waited until they defended the tag titles and Cora and Roxy lose, and then you do the turn? Why couldn't it just been that? Or why put the tag titles on them in the first place if you knew you were going to book this to happen? Like, these titles could have been on Caden Carter and Katana Chance the entire time by now. But you booked them to beat Toxic Attraction at the Great American Bash, win the tag titles, and then a week later, you have Roxy have her women's title singles match, and then that's where you have Cora Jade turn on her. The tag team champions. I don't get the logic behind that. So what was the point of even putting the tag titles on them? Only for Cora to turn on her a week later? A week later. A week later. A week later. 1 week later. And that's just another reason as to why NXT 2.0 has been extremely disappointing. Extremely disappointing. The logic behind this booking makes no sense. NXT UK. Another good episode. Amel and Stevie Turner went at it. Was a pretty good match. But Amel got the victory, and it's looking like this is setting up her to face Blair Davenport, who was on commentary for this match. You had Oliver Carter beat Tillman, and then Oliver Carter pretty much got demolished by the members of Die Familia. I am very excited because Saray, after the victory, the tag team victory she had with Meiko Satomura over Eliza Alexander and Zaya Brookside, Saray challenged Meiko Satomura to a match. That's right. We are finally going to get Meiko Satomura versus Saray on NXT UK. And it's been a while since they faced each other. Which, the last time they faced each other, I believe it was 2019, as part of the Sendai Girls Joshi promotion. But yeah, Saray and Meiko have history in Japan. They faced each other. So I'm looking forward to this match. Whether it's title on the line or not, I'm looking forward to this match. And who knows, maybe she'll put up the title. Who knows? But I can't wait to see this match. Saray and Meiko go at it. This should be really good. Really, really good. Kudos to NXT UK for putting together this scene. Can't wait to see this match. And we finally have a new NXT UK Heritage Cup champion. The Supernova 11 has been dethroned, and the culprit is the younger brother, Mark Coffey. That's right. Ended up taking a 2-1 victory over Noam Dar to become the new NXT UK Heritage Cup champ. And then after the match, which of course Shaw Samuels was banned from ringside, which worked in Mark Coffey's favor. Everybody from the back came out to celebrate, and then of course Joe Coffey, his brother, came out to celebrate with them. So nice little moment there. But yeah, Mark Coffey is your new NXT UK Heritage Cup champion. So finally see a new champion there. Overall good episode. Overall good episode of NXT UK. But Also, can't wait to see Amale versus Blair Davenport. That should be really good. Um, but yeah, good week for NXT UK. SmackDown, eh. Really, the only great segment of SmackDown was seeing the New Day dress up as Viking Raiders and mock and make fun of the Viking Raiders. I did like the shout out they gave to Assassin's Creed Valhalla on PlayStation 5. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I think that was really the only funny segment. I mean, the whole Lacey Evans coming out feeling disrespected rant. I mean, they pretty much, I guess, now turned her into what, like the female Kurt Angle. She's like the female Kurt Angle now, and of course she refused to wrestle Aaliyah, which I don't know. This return for Lacey Evans has been lackluster. It's been really lackluster. I'm like, she came back. She has this, American hero gimmick. She still uses the women's right, which is a cheesy finisher. So it's like, so dumb. So dumb. But like, and then now you have the Usos losing. You had, what was it? No, you had was it Jay Uso? It was Jay Uso. No, excuse me, it was Jimmy Uso. Lose on a technicality to Angelo Dawkins. Was pinned. His shoulder was up. So Adam Pearce made a decision and decided that their tag team title rematch at SummerSlam will have a special guest referee, and it's Double J Jeff Jarrett. Okay, not really who I was thinking. Kind of a surprise not really in a good way, but I mean, I guess. I mean, Jeff Jarrett. I mean, it's SummerSlam, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just nothing screams impressive at all about that. But I mean, that's your special guest referee. But yeah. But it's good to see Liv Morgan pick up a victory over Natalya. At least Liv Morgan's getting a victory here and there since becoming SmackDown Women's Champion. So hey, as long as they're booking her like a champion, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. I mean, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have so far. Like I said, the week for WWE, aside from NXT UK, but doesn't surprise me at all. But G1 Climax 32 has started, so looking forward to getting into that. We got a lot of Stardom to look forward to. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling also started the Tokyo Princess Cup tournament. And, forgot to mention a few things. So, I've been attending a few DPW shows, DPW Deadlock Pro Wrestling. So, I'm so excited about their recent announcements for DPW. So, for two DPW shows, one in Concord, one in Raleigh, Jungle Kiona, former Stardom wrestler Jungle Kiona, will be attending those two DPW shows. As a matter of fact, the dates. Let me pull up the dates right quick. September 17th and November 12th. So I'm looking so forward to those shows. Jungle Kiona, who recently recovered from multiple injuries, but is taking bookings in the U.S. And DPW is on her list. I cannot wait to see and meet Jungle Kiona. Powerful wrestler, former member of Tokyo Cyber Squad. Definitely looking forward to seeing her in action. Can't wait to see that. Not only is she going to be wrestling, but also Emi Sakura will be making her DPW debut and coming to the States for the first time is the Popping Sugar Rabbit. One half of the magical Sugar Rabbits, Mizuki, is coming through to DPW. I am so excited, and they're going to be wrestling each other. Mizuki versus Emi Sakura, which Emi Sakura trained Mizuki. So they haven't wrestled each other in 8 years. Like, wow. So definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, it was like, yeah, I think it was 8 years. It's been 8 years since they've wrestled each other. So I am definitely looking forward to that. Like, that should be really, really good. So, yeah, according to Emi Sakura's Twitter, 8 years since her last singles match with Mizuki. So, that should be really, really good. Looking forward to that. So, love what DPW's been doing. Showing some love for the Joshi talents out there in the world. Like I said, the last 2 shows I went to, got to meet Hiroyo Matsumoto, got to meet Miyuki Takase, and Miyu Yamashita. So, it's been so awesome. It's been really, really awesome. But that's all that I have for now. Let me know what y'all think. What are your thoughts on the G1 Climax 32 blocks? Who are you looking forward to seeing? Who do you think will make the Final Four? Are you excited for Stardom Midsummer Champions in Nagoya, as well as the first Stardom and Showcase, Volume 1? How did y'all feel about AEW Fyter Fest Week 1? Let me know what your thoughts are on there. Io Shirai, do you think she's re-signing? Do you think she's leaving? What do you think she's going to do? And, yeah, just anything else. Let me know. Leave your comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching and for all of your support. For another Pro Wrestling Talk episode brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming, I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and I hope you all have a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all next time. Peace. Take care.